Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 22. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell, coming to you live on Elevation 5280, Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So we're back once again for another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 22. Let's get into it, man. We're going to start with the baseball. We're going to recap the baseball from this past Saturday up to now. We already have a team that's already in the championship series, already clinched that berth, and that was the New York Mets, who continue to be amazing with their playoff run, piggybacking on what they did in the regular season, and continuing that in the uh, postseason. And they're doing very well. Now they need 4 more wins to get to the World Series. So we thought that, but we want to start with the recap of the baseball from last Saturday. We're on the divisional series, so let's recap that. What they did in the regular season, they continuing that in the postseason. They're doing very well. Now they need 4 more wins to get to the World Series. So let's continue on. We're going to start with Saturday's games all the way to today's games. Let's get started. We're going to start with the games that was played on October the 5th. The Guardians shut out the Tigers 7-0. That was a shutout win. The Mets got out to a great start in Philadelphia, winning 6-2. The Yankees won 6-5 in a close one against the Royals. And the Dodgers won 7-5 against the Padres. So those are the games that were played on Saturday. Sunday, the best game without question was the Philadelphia Mets. Game 2, that was a big time game right there. In the bottom of the ninth, no matter of fact, let's go back. Vientos hit a 2-run homer to tie it with the Mets trailing 6-4. He hits a homer to left center. Vientos. Yeah, 27 home runs this year. Young player, only 24 years old, and hit a home run to tie the game up. Mark Vientos. That was a big time, no home run because it tied the game up at 6-6. The Mets should have won the series in 3 games instead of winning 4 games, but they were the better team. But over on this matchup, they got to a great start in game number 2. They got out to a 3-0 start, then Philly came back, took a lead 6-4. Then they tied it again. The Mets they tied it, but they lost in the bottom of the ninth as Castellanos hit a single to drive in Turner. They won 7-6. So they ended up tying the series at 1-1. Then the Padres blew out the Dodgers 10-2. So we fast forward to Monday. The Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0 to tie the series up. The Royals beat the Yankees 4-2 to tie this series up. Then Tuesday, Mets came back home for the home field advantage that they had. They won Game 3, pitched well and hit well, 7-2. No sweat. It was a no doubter. The Mets handled their business against the Phillies at home. Pete Alonso hit another home run. Sean Manaea had a 2-hit shutout into the 8th inning. So he did his thing. He did it, a great job of what he did. He did give up 1 run, but it was all Mets. Mets did their thing, did what they had to do to win. They get thrown up to a 6-0 start and ended up winning 7-2, being 1 win away from clinching a berth in the championship series. And the Padres beat the Dodgers 6-5 to take a 2-1 lead. So we fast forward to Wednesday. Now it gets interesting. Detroit, they beat the Guardians 3-0 to take a 2-1 lead. And the Mets handled their business. They were trailing 1-0 in the 6th inning. Here comes Francisco Lindor. He hits a grand slam to make it 4-0. They was ended up winning it 4-1. After being down 1-0 most of this game, he comes over, hits a grand slam to dead center, and they was able to win 4-1 and win the series and move on to the NLCS for the first time since 2015. So the Mets are a big story. They're the biggest story to me in the postseason because this was unprecedented, not seen or recognized or in a sense predicted by the experts that the Mets was going to go to the championship series and eventually win the World Series. When you look at Mendoza, never managed a team before, 44 years old, very young, and be able to be 4 wins away from advancing to the World Series is amazing. This is a franchise that let go Buck Showalter. Maybe shouldn't have been let go, that quick, kind of premature, but they was able to find the right guy to lead this team, lead the squad further than what Buck Showalter did. Because Buck Showalter was a big time manager with the Yankees. Let's go back way back. Buck Showalter was a big time manager, and so for him to be let go was like, what's going on? Why they letting this guy go? But when you see the Mets make the right moves, the right decisions, now you see, okay, they made the right decision of letting go of Buck Showalter. And now they have, Carlos Mendoza, who's new to this managing thing, and he's 4 wins away from getting to a World Series and possibly win a World Series, which they can, definitely possible and capable of doing. Because if you beat the Phillies, a team that had the best record all year, most of the year they had the best record. You can beat anybody. You can beat the Dodgers, you can beat the Padres, you can beat the Yankees, you can beat Detroit, beat Cleveland, whoever's remaining in the divisional series. They could win any of those against those opponents. So I think from that perspective, I think you see the Mets' confidence growing. They have great timely hitting, whether it be Alonso, whether it be Lindor, Vientos, whoever it is, they always find a way to get a hit. The pitching has been outstanding, and they outscored on the Phillies in the last two games of the series, 11-4. 11-3, excuse me. So they scored 1 run yesterday. Another game scored 2 runs, so they outscored them 11-3. So in that perspective, they outplayed and outclassed Philly. They should have won the series in 3 games. They should have swept the Philadelphia Phillies. They should have swept them. That's how effective they were. They so much a better team collectively as the Phillies were. You might have not have the stars that they have like Bryce Harper, guys like that on the other side, but the Mets have a team collective effort, and they showed that in their performance in the series. I think that's the thing that stands out is that the Mets are for real. They've shown that they are for real. They're not just happy just being in the postseason. They want to go all the way to the championship. And they play like it this in the series against the Philadelphia Phillies, who had a lot of high expectations. It's a franchise that won 95 games, lost 67, and now they're going home in the divisional series. So this is like an upset. No question. This is an upset. I mean, this was not expected. This was not expected that the Mets, wall franchise, will be in the NLCS, and this was definitely an upset for the ages. One of the great upsets you're going to see in playoff history. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a major surprise in baseball. Now, can they finish the deal? That's the thing. When you have these kind of runs, you have to find a way to get the whole thing done by winning the whole thing or win the championship. That's what it's all about. They can win the championship. This would be one of the more memorable championships in recent memory in baseball history. This is a miraculous Cinderella, story that you see with the Mets. The Mets are a Cinderella story. They are a team that is capable of beating anybody. If you get past the Phillies, the way they played against them, how they pitched against them, how they hit against them. I mean, they can do this against anyone. Amazon fall favorites are here. So I think that's the thing that stands out with that is that the Mets looking really good right now. Got a lot of momentum that they're gonna carry with them to the World Series possibly. We'll see what happens. So that's what I wanted to give out that information, talk about that with the Mets. And then you had the Yankees, they go up 2 games to 1, put themselves in position to get to the championship series. The Yankees won 3-2, and Giancarlo Stanton hit a go-ahead home run in the eighth inning. That was a big time hit, obviously. They put him up 3-2, and they was able to win 3-2, 417 feet. It was in the eighth inning, so the game was tied at 2-2. He hits a home run to left center to give him the lead. So that's the thing that stands out. They win 3-2, and they, come one win away from advancing to the championship series. Then you had the Padres get shut out 8-0, a must win for the Dodgers, obviously, because they trailed 2-1 coming into this game, and they was able to tie the series up at 2 games apiece. So now they've set up a great game 5 tomorrow night. That's going to be a good one. We talk about these two division foes against each other. So that's going to be a big time ball game. Okay, tonight we have the Guardians. They up 5-3 in the bottom of the eighth. Sweet bottom of the ninth. The Guardians are beating the Tigers 5-3, and Detroit Tigers trying to advance, but the Guardians are trying to force a game 5 um, in Cleveland. So it's like they're going to do it because right now it's the bottom of the ninth. Nobody out. Tigers are up at bat. They do have a runner in scoring position, so the tying run is coming up to the plate. So they got a chance to tie this game up. They send this game to extra innings. But right now, Cleveland's trying to stay off elimination, trying to get into back into the series by tying the series up at 2 games apiece and try to force a game 5. But right now, it's bottom of the ninth right now, and the Guardians are winning 5-3. Runner in scoring position in second base, and see what happens with that. But then you got the Yankees. This is pretty early in the game. It's not a glad part of the game, but the Yankees are winning 1-0. Top of the fifth inning, 2 outs, runs on runner on first base. So the Yankees trying to end the series tonight and advance to the championship series themselves. They lead 2-1. Right now, it's 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. The Tigers did score a run, but it's 2 outs though. They 1 out away from losing this game and having a game 5 in Detroit. Excuse me, in Cleveland. I guess it's gonna be on Saturday. I think it's gonna be tomorrow. But anyway, it's 5-4 in favor of Guardians right now. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Um, see if they can hold on the Guardians and force a game 5. So that's a storyline that's going on in baseball with the postseason. I want to start the show with the baseball. Usually I start with college football, NFL, but no, nothing's more important right now than the postseason when it comes to baseball, any sport. So I think when I do a show like this, I gotta start with the postseason. That's the real season. NFL regular season, college football season, it does matter, but it doesn't matter when compared to the postseason. The postseason matters. So I want to start the show with the postseason coverage of the Major League Baseball. It's been pretty good. Again, like I said, the big storyline has been the Mets. You know what I'm saying? This team's come out of nowhere. They played so great during the regular season, second half of the season in particular, and they've been able to just be, a team that knows how to get timely hits and know how to get, great pitching when it's needed. It's a collective effort. They find a way. Just find a way to get it done. When you find a way to get it done, you have a chance to do big things. And now they're 4 wins away from getting to a World Series. Either going to play the Padres, going to play the Dodgers. I mean, you got to give Mets more than a fighting chance. I'm saying they beat the Phillies. They definitely can beat the Dodgers. They definitely can beat the Padres. So the Mets are a live team. There's no pressure on them. I'm quite sure they're going to be, the underdogs the rest of the way. Whether it be the Padres or Dodgers, whoever they face, they're always going to be viewed as the underdogs. But if they get to the World Series, they're going to be viewed as the underdogs as well. So from that standpoint, definitely going to have underdog status around the Mets. But the Mets don't care. They're playing like they expect to win. They expect to be champions. They expect to be winners in this series coming up. Whereas the opponent's going to be, they're going to be ready. And we got a final. The Guardians beat the Tigers 5-4. So we will have game number 5 on Saturday. I believe that's going to be on Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be on Saturday, possibly at 4:38 p.m. So the series is tied at 2-2. So it's definitely going to be necessary. So that's going to be on TBS. So we got game 5. We got 2 game 5. That's good for baseball. We got game 5 between the Padres and the Dodgers. And you got game 5 between the Guardians and the Tigers. So you got 2 deciding game 5s, man. See who's going to advance to the championship series. So that gets no better than that. So tomorrow you have one game 5 Again, that's the Padres and the Dodgers. That's going to be um, a great matchup. When you look at the Dodgers, they got so much payroll. You know, Otani, show Otani, all the pressures on him. Not just him, but everybody in that lineup, on that team. So they can't afford to lose to Padres. Padres is good. And they got Tatis, Profer, um, Machado. They got a very talented team. But you're the Dodgers, you got this payroll. You expect to win championships with the money that they spend. Okay, update: the Yankees and Royals. The Yankees went up 2-0. See how they scored that run, that second run. Torres hit a single to right and drove in Verdugo. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Yankees. Runs on first and third, so they try and get more runs with 2 outs in the top of the fifth. The Guardians forced the game, number 5. So let's start on that. So let's get into for the postseason talk of baseball. Now it's time to get into the baseball book that I've been reading to you. Been following the show. I've been reading about home runs, the 101 home runs in baseball history. We're going to resume with number 30, Jimmy Fox, tape measure home run. Let's get into it. Okay, the most important home run got to be in Game 5 of the 1930 World Series. And that was against, who was against? Got to be against the Cardinals. Yeah, got to be with the A's. So this game was played in St. Louis at Sportsman's Park. The series was tied at 2 games apiece. He had a long home run in the top of the ninth off future Hall of Famer Burley Grimes to Rick score his tie, giving the A's a 2-0 lead, and they will win the World Series 2 days later. So that's the biggest home run that's got to be on this list. Why he's included on this list. Take measure home run. They don't say how long it was. They do have a home run they hit against Yankees. I don't know if they talking about that or the home run they hit against the Cardinals. Anyway, he's on the list. Number 29, Joe DiMaggio, the one that beat Killer's streak. I think it has to do with the winning streak, the hitting streak that he had. 56 game hitting streak must be. Maybe it wasn't, probably wasn't that. Let's see, let's double check. Okay, 44 game hitting streak. Okay, he hit a 2-run homer against the Boston Red Sox. So that's how he established a new game hitting streak in a 2-run homer. Right, number 28, Willie Stargell pops goes the family man. I think this is in the 1979 World Series against the Baltimore Orioles. He hits the home run. Let's go and look into it. Let's see what's that. Trying to find out scenario with this home run hit. What's that? Okay, he hit a home run, his third home run of the series. So and that's what they referring to as World Series right there. That's got to be what it's about. Home run they hit against the Orioles. Mickey Mouse, much son becomes a man. This is another number 27. Let's see what man. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. He got to be the home run they hit in Game 7. So in the sixth inning at Evans Field. So it was like the first home run of the 18 home runs that man would hit in the World Series. So I think that's the one you're talking about. And that's what they're talking about. What I see. Number 26, Jimmy Luricks, the short-lived king of a new dynasty. Yeah, this is a big time one right here. It's the home run they hit off of Mike Rollers. Matt Rollers, I think his name is. Yeah, Mark Rollers. Because the Braves, had a 6-3 lead and he hits a home run to tie the game up. It was a 3-run homer. Rollers do a slider. They was just thinking about, a fastball. Count was 2-2. Jimmy Luricks, hit it out. And that was a big time home run. That was a big home run, the biggest home runs ever going to see. But number 25, you got Tony Perez, the the big dog barks. Tony Perez. He's one of the best clutch hitters of his time. Trying to find the home run they hit. Okay, the home run they hit was against Boston Red Sox. They were trailing three to nothing. It's a two-run home run that they was able to get within one run, 3-2. So the Reds tied the game in the seventh. I think that's what it is. That's the home run that is being talked about in this list. It's at number 25. Number 24, we're going to get into this. This will be the last one. Babe Ruth the Bambino breaks his own record. So he had 59 home runs, so I think the 60th home run, made that record be broken by him. So that made it 60. Let's see who it was against. Got to be against the Washington Senators. He hit a home run on September 30th at Yankee Stadium. Game tied at 2. He hit it out. That's the record breaker, 60 home runs. There you go. Right, so that's it. We're on with number 23 and try to count down. Definitely gonna get this thing done before the World Series starts because we got baseball postseason to deal with. But this book that gonna be concluded, I'll give you definitely who was the number one player that had hit the most memorable home run in baseball history. Who was the number one guy? At number 23, I stay with number 23. I end with 23 next week. Continue on with number 23 on the countdown of the most memorable home runs in baseball history. Right, so let's get into some college football, man. College football time. Let's get into that. Wild, wacky week, man. What you think that everything is supposed to be, you know, anticlimactic, automatic wins, anything but that. You update with the Yankees and the Royals. Yankees are winning 2-0. End of the fifth inning, going to the sixth inning. Yankees winning 2-0, trying to eliminate the Kansas City Royals and advance to the championship series. So they're going to the sixth inning. NFL, we got the 49ers beating the Seahawks 16-0. Get into NFL real quick. So let's get into college football. Again, it was very wacky and wild, man, last week. We're gonna start with Alabama. Alabama getting upset 40-35. A shocker, man. They coming off of a big win against University of Georgia and their winning streaks at 42, 28, and 16, 42 game regular season winning streak, 28 winning streak, 28 game winning streak in the SEC, and then you have 16 game road winning streak that was all snapped. And then you look at the situation where they come back from that win, winning 41-34 against Georgia, knocked them off. They go to number one because of that victory. Then they go to Vanderbilt and get beat 40-35. Was it a case of just them being overconfident? having emotional letdowns that happen sometimes. But this is Alabama though. Alabama is not used to having these kind of letdowns after a big win against a major opponent. Usually be ready for the next opponent, but it is what it is. They lose 40-35. That was just a shocker of shockers for them to be the number one team in the country and get beat like they did, 40-35. Uh, Your credit to the quarterback. Obviously, he's a difference maker. Also, they ran the ball extremely well against Alabama. Also, they had a pick six for a touchdown. They was up in this game, 23-7. But the Alabama came back, give them credit. But they never had a lead in this game. That's the thing about it. They trailed most of this game, even though they was able to cut the lead to 2 points, 30-28. But they always had an answer. Vanderbilt, Pavia, I think his name Pavia, last name Pavia, I think it's first name. Got 8 touchdowns and no interceptions. So he playing well. Diego Pavia, he had 2 touchdown passes, 252 yards, 16 of 20. Alexander carried the ball 21 times, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they just definitely did enough to not stave off uh, Alabama and beat them and upset them 40-35. So that was the first major upset of the day. Then you had some other upsets. Tennessee losing to Arkansas 19-14. That was a shock, big time shock because you had a situation where Tennessee's number 4 in the country. The thing that was mind-boggling me is how impressive the defense of Arkansas was. They're very impressive on defense. Another thing too that's strange too is that the quarterback Nico, he didn't know the situation because it's fourth down. They need a touchdown. He just scrambled and just ran out of bounds. So he didn't have, to understand the wherewithal to, throw the ball in the end zone. Instead, he runs out of bounds. He gets pushed out of bounds. It was fourth down and 5 at the 16. You gotta know throw the football in the end zone. So he lost track of where he was at. So Tennessee goes down as number 14 in the country, and along with Alabama's loss, it marked the first time that two top 5 teams in the same conference lost on the same regular season weekend. So you got to go back to October 6, 2012, when number 4 LSU and number 5 Georgia was beaten. And it was also the first time two top 5 teams were defeated by unranked opponents. You got to go back to 2004, 20 years ago. Number 4 Miami, I think they lost to North Carolina on that day, and Florida State lost as number 5 team in the country. So rarely this stuff happens. This occurs. You got two teams in the same conference ranked in the top 5 get beat. That's what you saw this past weekend. College football with Alabama and Vanderbilt. That matchup with Vanderbilt upsetting Alabama, and then you got Tennessee losing to Arkansas. So let me look that up. October 30th, 2004, NC versus Miami. Yep, North Carolina. I remember that game. 31-28. They won that game, and that was a big time win at the time. On the same day, Maryland beat Florida State, 2017. All right, so let's get back to the task at hand. Team Dakota's college football. Other upsets to talk about. I think this is an upset. Texas A&M, number 25 team in the country, beating Missouri. I think that was definitely a big time upset. And the way they beat Missouri, 41-10. SMU beat Louisville, upset them, 34-24, 34-27. Um, Michigan, number 10 team in the country, lost to Washington 27-17. This is a rematch of last year's national championship game. They got upset. Also, USC lost. That was a big time upset by Minnesota. So that was a big upset. So you saw a lot of upsets, man. This is a title game rematch between Washington and Michigan, and Michigan lost. So that's their second loss. So will they be in the playoff hunt? We'll see. Obviously, I'll play Ohio State later on this year. Yeah, Michigan lost, and then USC, number 11 team in the country, they lost 24-17 to Minnesota. And UNLV, they was ranked number 25. I guess they like tied with University of Texas A&M for the number 25 spot. UNLV, I see right here they got upset by Syracuse 44-41. Now the team that did not get upset, that could have got upset, but came back from a 25-point deficit was Miami. They overcame a 25-point deficit. He was able to win 39-38, led by that quarterback, Cam Ward, definitely Heisman Trophy candidate. This is a crazy, crazy game. They didn't go off to the best start. I got up to the 7-0 start, but the rest of the way, it was all California, man. Pulling the pick six, they just dominate this game. And then all of a sudden, here comes Miami. With 3:02 to go, they score a touchdown with Damian Martinez, 1 yard touchdown, including a 2-point conversion, which was huge because that put them in position. All they got to do is score touchdowns and they win. So to give credit to Miami, because all they did was give up a field goal in the fourth quarter. They trailed 38-18. Then Cam Ward threw a touchdown pass to Isaiah Horton. Then Cam Ward himself ran it in for a touchdown from 24 yards, to make it 38-32. Then the drive, maybe of the season, 7 plays, 93 yards, and they score. And the biggest play of that drive was the pass to Restrepo. That was the biggest play of the game on that drive because they were backed up 92 yards. Excuse me, they were backed up deep in their own territory in that first play from scrimmage from that on that drive. Ward goes to Restrepo. It was like a broken coverage, 77 yards to the 15-yard line. So once you put yourself in that position, now you're in plus territory. Now they're putting themselves in this position to definitely score, and they did with a touchdown pass from Cam Ward to Elijah Arroyo. Then they got an interception. They was able to win. So Miami, 2 weeks in a row, had to come back from behind against Virginia Tech. They had to come back from behind against California, but Miami just got to play better. They got a bye week this week, so you have to buckle down, get ready for Louisville, try to continue to win in this conference. They 2-0 in the conference, so I'll see if they got made of next week, coming off the big time win on the road to remain unbeaten and remain in the top 10. All right, so my picks of the week last week did pretty good. I was 4-0, 4-1 actually. Did pretty good. I was right with the Miami California matchup. Did pick that last week. So let's look at that recap. Miami over California. Also had Oregon over Michigan State, Missouri, and Texas A&M. I got that wrong because I picked Missouri. They lost. Georgia beat Auburn, Michigan. No, matter of fact, I apologize. My apologies. I was 3-2 last week, so my record was 3-2. So I got 2 losses because I picked Michigan to beat Washington. That didn't happen. Washington upset Michigan, so I was 3-2 last week. So we changed that pick record. So overall, my record is 23-11. 23-11. So I got the games that I picked wrong, 3-2. The only games I got right last week: Miami beat California, Oregon beat Michigan State, Georgia beat Auburn. I was wrong with Missouri over Texas A&M, Michigan over Washington. So I was 3-2. So overall, I'm 23-11. Not bad. 23-11. All right. So the picks of the week for this coming Saturday. Got some good games, man. We got Oregon State excuse me, Oregon versus Ohio State. That's a big time game because you got a situation where you got two top three teams in the country. Number two, Ohio State against number three, Oregon and Eugene, Oregon. That's going to be a big time matchup. I like Ohio State. Their talent is definitely going to be tough to deal with. I got Ohio State win that game. We got the Red River rivalry renewed. Texas against Oklahoma, number one Texas against I believe number 18 Oklahoma. I got Texas to win that game. Alabama will bounce back against South Carolina. I think they should bounce back big after losing to Vanderbilt. And I got an upset. I got USC upsetting Penn State, the number 14 in the country. I got a big upset by USC. I'm going with USC, the upset over Penn State. I got Tennessee to bounce back from losing to Arkansas and beating Florida. So Ohio State over Oregon, Texas over Oklahoma, Alabama over South Carolina, USC over Penn State, and Tennessee over Florida. That's who I have for the five picks of the week. So hopefully I do better. Well, way better than one game with 500. I'll take it from there. Yankees winning 3-0 in the middle of the sixth. All right, so that's it for the NCAA football coverage. All right, let's get into the NFL. Start with it's basically like the second quarter of the season. As we know, the first Sunday in October. We're gonna start with Thursday. Falcons won in overtime, 36-30. For the ages. The thing about it is that Kirk Cousins had a big game, maybe the best game of his career. 509 yards passing, four touchdowns, one interception, 42 out of 58. Big time game. So they won that game to go 3-2, and Buccaneers fell to 3-2. The Vikings team remain unbeaten. They win 23-17 over the Jets, who fired their coach this week, and Robert Saleh. So they're making a lot of moves. Also, they demoted Nathaniel Hackett. They gonna focus on Todd Downing to call the offense. So Robert Saleh's out. He's no longer the coach. He got fired this week. The Jets were 2-3, not his fault, but when things don't go right, you're gonna give thanks to the coach. So he's gonna be the first one out. So that's it. What it is. What it is with that. Um, the Ravens beat the Bengals 41-38. The Ravens are looking good right now. Man, they start 0-2. Now they win three straight. They rolling right now. They playing like the Ravens supposed to play. Just got to show up their defense. They had to overcome a brilliant game by Joe Burrow. He threw five touchdowns. Lamar Jackson threw four touchdowns. Played well, 348 yards. But you got to prove in the postseason, obviously. Derrick Henry had 92 yards rushing. Big time game from Burrow, man. 392 yards, five touchdowns. Chase had 10 catches, 193 yards, two touchdowns. But they lost that game in overtime to the Ravens. So Ravens up 3-2. They're looking good. They play Washington this week. That's going to be a good game. Other notable games, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Colts 37-34. Other games stood out. The Texans beat the Bills 23-20. This is a shocker right here. The Cardinals beat the 49ers, man. Now, 49ers looking good right now. They winning 16-3 right now at halftime. Try to even up at 500 to go 3-3. But at the same time, it's just that's the dealing with injuries. But that was just a shocker losing to the Cardinals 24-23. The Packers beat the Rams 24-19. This is a shocker. The Giants went to Seattle and won 29-20. No Devin Singletary, no Malik Neighbors, no sweat. They win the game. And Daniel Jones continued to play well. Last 4 or 5 weeks, playing outstanding. 257 yards, two touchdowns. Already has six touchdowns and three interceptions. Playing very well, playing pretty good. solid. Can't knock what he's doing since that first game against Minnesota. So but this Tracy Jr. came out and played well. Um, 30 carries, 158 yards. Tyrone Tracy Jr. definitely did his thing. Excuse me, 18 carries, 129 yards. Beg your pardon. They ran the ball extremely well. Slayton played well. Darius Slayton, 8 catches, 122 yards, and Giants played well. Also, they played well on defense. They had 7 sacks, and they lead the league in sacks. The Giants, 22 sacks. They had 7 sacks. Three of them came from Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence had three sacks. So the Giants impressive win against Seattle. Then the Cowboys beat the Steelers 2017. The Chiefs remain unbeaten, winning 26-13. So you still have two unbeaten teams left. That's the Vikings and the Chiefs. Let's look at the standings. Chiefs are 5-0, and Minnesota Vikings are 5-0. But there's a lot of mediocrity in the NFL, especially in the NFC. Both conferences kind of mediocre. So that's the storyline on that. So let's get into my picks of the week. I did last week and move forward to the games this week. I have this week. Then go right to understanding and sports history and then be done with the show tonight. Okay, last week I was 1-4. I was terrible. The Vikings. Wait a minute. Let me apologize for that. Let me change that. I was 4-1 last week. I did pretty good. Vikings beat the Jets. I was right about that one. Ravens over the Bengals. I was right about that one. Texans over the Bills. I was right about that one. 49ers over the Cardinals. I was wrong about that one. Commanders over the Browns. I was right about that one. Commanders are continue to play good football. Um, but I think they're gonna lose this week against the Ravens. That's one of my picks. So I was 4-1 last week, 15-10 so far with the picks of the week record. The Ravens over the Commanders. That's gonna be a good game. Lions over the Cowboys. That's a good game. I got the Lions over the Cowboys. Got the Steelers over the Raiders. Texas over the Patriots, and I got the Giants over the Bengals. I think the Giants are playing pretty good right now. Daniel Jones playing very well. He should be able to do some things against that defense of the Bengals. They gave 41 points last week. Why can't the Giants put up at least 30, even if Malik Neighbors are not there? I just think that the Giants can turn the corner with a win like this. Go up, to 500, 3-3. So I think they need this game. They need to win this game in the worst way. And definitely Cincinnati's trying to win this game also. They 1-4. But the Giants need to win this game also. They need to even themselves up at 3-3. They can't afford get behind, be inconsistent. But the Giants defense, man, is looking very, very good. The Giants are looking to win their first game at home. They haven't won a home game yet. They lost to Minnesota and they lost to plus they lost to at home. Check that. The Cowboys lost to the Cowboys and the Vikings. So they gotta get together and win a home game at home. But I like the Giants, man. When you look at the Giants, I just think they playing good right now. They just gotta keep being consistent, um, make it happen. But the defense is something that is very impressive. Is their defense. The defense of the Giants, they lead the league in sacks. Got 22 sacks. Dexter Lawrence is the key catalyst, man. He's doing it despite being double teamed on every play, almost. He had 3 sacks last weekend. He had 6 on the season. And the Giants lead the league in sacks. It's 22. So he's one of the best interior rushers, and he's a handful. So I think that's going to definitely cause trouble for the Bengals offensive line. Yes, Cincinnati's rolling along on offense, scoring more than 30 points or more the third straight game, but their defense is terrible. They're giving up 365.4 yards per game, 26 in defense. And the Giants have been playing well. This is definitely from a perspective of time possession. They know how to control the clock. They're averaging 35 minutes in time possession the past three games. So they're definitely doing a great job of time possession, controlling the clock. This Giants team is playing pretty good. But now the records don't show it. The record don't show it, but they could get it done this time against the Bengals on Sunday night. I think they'll be 3-3, and they look forward to trying to move ahead, try to go over 500, and have a say so in this division, a possible wild card or something like that. We'll see. But that's the storyline. That's what I got for the picks of the week. So again, we'll go over that again. Giants over the Bengals, Ravens over the Commanders, the Lions over the Cowboys, Steelers over the Raiders, and Texans over the Patriots. Ravens, Lions, Steelers, Texans, and Giants over the winners. Ravens over the Commanders, Lions over the Cowboys, Steelers over the Raiders, Texans over the Patriots, Giants over the Bengals. Those are my picks of the week. All right, let's quickly get into on this day in sports history for October 10th. Let's get into it. October 10th. And begin. Let's begin. Let's get into it. This is the final segment of the show. That'll be it for today. All right, let's get into it. We're not gonna read everything that took place on this day. We're gonna start with October 10th, 1899. African American inventor Isaac R. Johnson patents the bicycle frame. Interesting. 1904, Boston Pictures achieved 148 complete games, and an American League record, also record for total complete games, American League 1,098 to National League 1,089. 1916, on October 10th, in Game 3, Charlie Ebbets became the first owner to raise the price of World Series grandstand seats to $5 up from $3. 1920, October 10th, Cleveland Indians outfielder Elmer Smith hits baseball's first ever home run, which was a grand slam. Teammate Bill Gans makes the first unassisted World Series triple play. 1920, October 10th, Phoenix Cardinals, then in Chicago, played first NFL game. The score is tie. 1923, the New York Giants and New York Yankees became first teams to play each other in three consecutive World Series as the Giants win. Game 1, 5-4, first World Series game played at Yankee Stadium. 1924 baseball World Series, Washington Senators edged the New York Giants 4-3 in 12 innings in Game 7 at Griffin Stadium to take series lead. The Senators of Washington first World Series victory. 1926 baseball World Series, St. Louis Cardinals beat the Yankees 3-2 at Sportsman Park for 4-3 series victory. 1930, New York Yankees announced signing form with Chicago Cubs manager Joe McCarthy to manage for 4 years. 1930. It's a lot of baseball history. I'm gonna read all of it. I'm just skip it. Do the time strain. I want to get out here before 10. Let's pick my spots so I get up out of here. Okay, 1961 expansion draft to stock Houston Astros and New York Mets. The Summer Olympics in 1964 on October 10th opened at the National Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. I think that was like the 18th Summer Olympics. Let's double check that quickly. Yeah, the 18th Summer Olympics took place in Tokyo. 18th. Okay. Okay, let's keep it moving. 1976, October 10th, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Giants Stadium opened with the New York Giants losing to the Dallas Cowboys 24-14 from the 76,42 fans, 76,042 fans. All right, so we got that one. There's a lot of no baseball history. Yeah, this is an interesting day. October 10th, 1994, New York Giants retired Thomas Taylor's number 56 jersey. Joe Embiid, 2017, signed a 5-year, 148 million designated rookie scale maximum contract extension with the 76ers. Right, so that's it, man. My time is up. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Be back next Thursday night for another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Also, check out my article that I have, e5280sports.com. It recently came up. It's on the website. Check it out. Um, wrote an article, obviously covering the NFL, college basketball, college football, NFL. Also, I covered the baseball playoffs, and also I covered a look at Pete Rose and look at the King of Mutombo. Remembering those guys, as they passed, unfortunately, last week. Recollections of them. So check it out on e5280sports.com, man. Check it out. Check out that the article. More to come as far as the articles are concerned for next week. So that's it for the show. My time is up. Hope you enjoyed everything I talked about. And like I said, next week definitely gonna continue to talk about the baseball postseason. It'll be, obviously being the championship series next week, by next Thursday. And obviously the college football and the NFL coverage. And then pretty soon, the NBA season gonna be starting. I'll definitely be previewing that. Maybe next week. I may do a preview of the NBA season next week because the season starts on October 22nd. So we double check that quickly when the NBA season gonna start. I want to be accurate with this. So I believe that that's gonna be October 22nd. NBA season starts. Let's get into it. Trying to find it out. October 22nd. Yep. It starts October 22nd and it ends April 13th, 2025. 79th season will begin October 22nd. So may do a preview of that next week, particularly who I think is going to win the championship, stuff like that. So that's going to be on the docket. They're going to talk about that because the season's starting pretty soon. So that's it for the show. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next Thursday night. Continue to talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell comes out every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live only on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Until then, have a good night.